What's up, internet? So I finally finished the Rogue Fab weld it yourself tube bender. It took about an hour, 2 hours to complete. It actually took longer to clear out my kitchen. That's where I welded it than to actually weld it itself. I used an Everlast 210 EXT AC/DC TIG welding machine. Really like that. Worked out really, really well, but this isn't about that machine. Now, when this bender came in the mail, the only thing that I didn't like was that it needed to be deburred. It's pretty sharp when you first get it, so definitely wear some gloves when you take this out of the box. But I'm building this in an apartment, so I would have paid the extra couple of bucks to have this deburred, so, because I can't exactly make noise over here. But I found another solution going to Lowe's, and they sell a little deburring tool there. So if noise is a factor or you don't like using a grinder, grab the deburring tool at Lowe's and you're good to go. The hydraulic cylinder from Harbor Freight, I do have that. It's not attached because that doesn't come with oil, of course, so you have to pick that up at AutoZone, so don't forget that. Actually building this entire thing, uh, in my opinion, the directions weren't very clear at all, but then again, I'm a welder for a living. I don't do roll cages, and I don't do, I guess, partial welding work. Like usually guys in automotive, they turn wrenches, and welding is just an extra skill that they have. I just weld for a living. I manufacture things, so I'm used to actual weld prints, so that would have been a little bit more clear to me. But I was able to watch the owner who had tack welded this on YouTube and just kind of winged it and looked at what he did and just remembered that. Now, you don't really need any tools for this, but I would recommend some clamps. The C channels aren't exactly straight, so when you try to weld it to the top portion, there will be a little bit of a gap in between where you're supposed to stitch weld. And let's see, we got deburring, we got clamps, and the directions. But aside from that, it was pretty straightforward. I chose not to actually grind off the mill scale because I'm not gonna paint it. Like I said, I live in an apartment, so it's just an extra step, and I don't feel like doing that right now. And the mill scale protects it from rust, kind of. And to get around the mill scale popping on me when I was TIG welding it, I just used stainless steel filler wire, and that solved that problem. But yeah, pretty easy build. I'll probably be able to test it tomorrow after I go to AutoZone, but it went together nicely. And yeah, check out the time-lapse videos after this one to see how I assembled it. But yeah, great product. Peace.
All right, so first thing I recommend that they don't show you, or that's wrong in the instructions, is do this first. Build the sub-assembly before you actually build the frame. So gonna weld those washers on first, TIG welding it, not cleaning the material because it's pretty clean. And yeah, those are the welds, just some quick fusion welds. And I'll do the other side and start the actual frame. Okay, so the next subcomponents I will be welding are these things to the bending wheel. And yeah, just gonna fuse weld those here, 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 and then here, here, and here. And then I will move on to the actual frame. So finished the sub-assembly, and yeah, just some quick fusion welds. Even without cleaning up this material, they still came out pretty good. Moving on to the base. Okay, so here is what I am saving for last, which is the big stuff, the main assembly before we start putting everything all together. So I'm going to start on this, and I'll probably use time lapse to show this because it might take a minute. Okay, that took a little longer than I thought, probably like 15-20 minutes, but the The base is tacked. I fuse welded some of it, but I still have to stitch weld all of this, and I still have to secure this as well. This is still loose, but I gotta square it up. So next I will be adding the subassembly components, and then after that I should be finished, or not finished, but ready to fully weld it. Okay, so here is the bender all tacked and ready to be welded. And I'm just gonna, I've basically just tacked the ends of it, and then I'm gonna, stitch weld there, do some stitching in here, but I'm gonna try to put as few welds in as possible. It's not like I'm gonna warp this, it's pretty thick material. Rogue Fab did a pretty good job. They made it just thick enough so a novice won't warp it, but not too thick. So, yeah, pretty much done.